Patreon completely changed the way I view my community, my audience, and the way I run my business. And it's wild to me because everything just makes so much sense now. I'm going to share all the details with you, like how many people actually signed up in the first year, how much money I made, why I paid a YouTuber to help me restructure my entire Patreon, and just like if you should actually start one as a fellow creative. Hello, if you're new here, I'm Steph. I'm a name consultant, a content creator, mom of three, and a lover of all things whimsical, and I am obsessed with learning on YouTube. This video is for people who want to learn more about Patreon and how to do it, because I remember binge watching, and it was really hard to find current, updated information on Patreon now. The year is 2025, and everything was like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, and I was like, I want something more recent, and I wanted to learn from women creators. I wanted to learn from other like artistic folks. And so I want to put this out into the universe to maybe help somebody else. I'm really excited about my Patreon journey. I'm still very, very new, very baby young to it, but I'm excited to see where it takes me. And hopefully in a year, I have a completely different and new and retrospective look at my second year on Patreon. I want to make something abundantly clear at first. I look at Patreon as an investment towards my future, and as a business owner, I look at it as something very long term. I do not look at it as a quick way to make money. I think it can be lucrative, especially as you continue on and you grow. But I will say that as someone who has a very large audience on TikTok and Instagram, those people do not tend to transfer over to paid subscriptions as much as YouTube audiences do. So the bulk of your community will probably come from people who enjoy your long form. And that's why you have to definitely build up your long form. I consider myself super grateful for what happened to me in my first year, knowing very little. So like I said, I binged a bunch of videos on YouTube. I think I put out a survey though in my Instagram stories. I asked people like what perks they would want to see. And the mistake I made was mixing up my name services and putting them in my Patreon. So you could access, I'm a name consultant, right? So people pay me for lists, but it's not a scalable income. I can't just make a billion lists. I have to do other things. Number one, content creation is my main form of marketing. I also love it. I also love being in front of a camera. I'm a weirdo. I have a degree in acting, and I absolutely love performing and sharing and talking. That is a huge part of my business, and I don't want to spend my entire time making name lists. I love that too, but it's a balance. Plus, if you don't share your information, how are people going to sign up, right? So I have services, and one of them, my smallest service, is called a name bite, and it's 39 United States dollars, USD. Why did I say it like that? So it's $39, and you get an email from me in 24 hours, and it's just for a mini little question. Now, some people like to use it for like intense things like baby name regret or really big questions, or they want a lot of information on a name that means this, this, and this. And I say, please use my other services. I do answer those name regret questions because I feel bad for people. I want to give them support because it's a big thing. But like ideally, I would hope you would use one of my bigger services for those types of things. Regardless, I made a tier on my Patreon at $39 for a way to connect with me via email and talk about your name list. And what I found is that people really enjoyed emailing with me, and I spent quite a few hours a week sometimes, and I would go back and forth helping people with their questions, and I would try to give it a couple days in between so that I wasn't constantly. But I found that I had a service where you got one email from me, a one-time thing for $39, or you could on my Patreon email me a bunch of times in a month. I had said 2 to 3 emails, and I don't think people either remember that or they're not trying to be sneaky. They just need help, right? I don't think people have bad intentions. I just think you can get easily taken advantage of in that situation. I also posted exclusive name lists every single week for people to look at and download or talk about or whatever. But my YouTube mentor, Patreon mentor, Hannah Witten, let's put a picture of Hannah up here. She's amazing. And I have had so much fun taking her course. I'll tell you more about it in a minute. But she said, well, you're basically kind of giving them what you also give out in your videos for free. So it's not really much of an incentive. It's almost too much of an overlap, repetition. And I was like, oh my gosh, so smart. This is why it's so good to go to other creatives and have them objectively look at your work. So I was sharing these name lists, but that's already something you can get if you follow me for free on any of the myriad of platforms that I'm on sharing baby name lists. And then at the $3 level, I think it was more of the same. You got the list and you got less of the digital download name list. Okay, so it's 3, 7, and 39. And I did have people come and join the 39, which is great because oftentimes they say, start with like a $1 to $3 like tip jar. They call it a tip jar, and then have like a 5 to 7 mid-level tier, and then have like a 10 to 15 or a 15 to 20 tier. So I had a really high tier that was actually being used, which is kind of amazing. And I had about 10 people sign up when I first launched last May, end of May, June. It was end of last spring. And that was really exciting because I had done a lot of prep and I was so pumped. I had the best time working with my Instagram community on the name because I wanted it to be one long full name, and I chose Arcadia. And then I broke it up, and so nicknames of that were Dia. So for the $3 tier, could be a Dia tier, and then Katie, Cady, at the mid tier, and then the full name Arcadia at the $39 tier. It was messy. It was confusing, but it wasn't growing. And I will tell you right now, I won't keep it any longer. I will tell you right now, I just checked. I had 19 active members throughout the course of a year. And now I have like 8 or 9 members. I haven't really launched my new Patreon. So we'll see what happens after I send out a newsletter and I do a big launch in this video, perhaps. Perhaps you'll join. I don't know. Once you hear the good perks, you're going to want to. But I had 19 people over the course of a year, which I think is pretty good. And the amount of money I made is even more surprising to me. For 2024, I'm going to put this on the screen. I made over $1,000. I don't have the number right in front of me. And then I've made almost $600. Now, this is not like livable income, right? Because this is over months of time, right? I would love to make my Patreon into a sustainable income that's like repetitive, that I can rely on, that I can budget for every single month. But that takes time, effort. You can't expect to join and start anything unless you have millions and millions of followers. That's just not going to be the reality. And it is a work in progress, and I am in it for the long haul, and I am happy about what my new tiers are going to offer. And so I hope to get it to a place where it becomes a more sustainable, reliable income. But I'm really proud of what I made in the first year without like doing a lot of research. I'm definitely one of those creatives that jumps head first. I'm like, I want to start a Patreon, so I'm going to start a Patreon. And in a month, I started a Patreon. And that's a lot because you do have to work on, setting up the page and figuring out your tiers and your benefits, and they have to be sustainable. The tier benefits have to be sustainable. And that's the thing, that number one tip that people will tell you is that if it's not, and you're going to burn out and you can't produce it every week, you should not offer it. And I would agree with that. But here's another caveat. So like my once a week sharing baby name list was very sustainable for me. It didn't take me more than 20, 30 minutes every Sunday night to schedule a post for Monday morning of 2, usually a feminine and a masculine, but it could be nature names, it could be cottagecore, it could be the best names in the 500 spot, in the sweet spot in the top 1,000. It could have been surnames, it could have been names starting with L or ending in T. My favorites, it was color names, any possible. Like there is a never ending list of ideas in my head, and that was easy for me, but it was not fulfilling. It was not super fun because I love creating lists, but then I like telling you about them. I like sharing, my vintage name series. If you've seen that, like I get so excited to tell you the meaning of the name and the rank and what nicknames I would choose and how the vibes are, if it's quirky or if it's elegant. And I love talking about names, but just creating lists and posting them, and then there's no really feedback and back and forth. Some people did comment, but like there was no like way to be back and forth. That wasn't as fulfilling. So yes, it was sustainable, and I could do it till the end of time. I could make up a list every Sunday night and post it for Monday at 9 a.m. But it was not super fun. Where was I? Had to take a water break. So anyway, we're going back to my tiers because I want to share why I hired Hannah to help me. The name bite was super fun, but also time consuming for what I was being paid. And also I offered it somewhere else and it didn't make sense. I think I quickly realized the 3 tiers were overly ambitious, but I did have this idea that when I went to Hannah, we would just redo everything and we'd come up with different perks, and my juices were flowing. So anyway, I reached out. She has an amazing Patreon that has been sustainable for years for her, and she used to do more sex education topics, and now she shares more of her personal life and just does a little more lifestyle content, and still has a great community of patrons that support her. And she offered help on that. And so I reached out and I was like, I would love to take your Patreon course. It was fantastic because we started with my branding, which overhauled my entire business, which like literally helped me to get to the idea that I needed to create a new logo. So if you remember, my old logo is this and my new logo is this. and I'm absolutely obsessed with the new logo. It feels so whimsical and fun, so Steph, and I just love it. So Hannah was like, let's start with looking at your brand, because oftentimes people don't know exactly how they want to present themselves, and just like learning about your audience and what you create and what you're known for and what makes you special. So you start with that part of it, and that's how I decided I need a new logo. I need something that really represents who I am. And you go through and you come up with all these ideas. You go look at other Patreon people that you respect and you like, and how are they doing it? And you figure out what type of perks could be interesting. And what we ended up coming upon was that I needed to make two separate things for my audience. I had parents who come to me for baby name help, but that is like an immediate thing. They need it right away. They have a time limit, right? A pregnancy ends at some point, baby arrives. So they needed to have access to those services, and they need to be a quick turnaround, which is what I offer. My personalized name list is a lot of work, but you get it in like 72 hours. My name bite is a quick 24-hour turnaround, and then my new service, which is super fun because I think these are so fun, is a name audit. So it's called Audit My List. And if you don't know what that means, I'm basically helping you find your style, telling you which names go together, telling you which names I love from your list, which ones I would choose, which ones I would let go of potentially, and then giving you 10 plus more suggestions based on what you already love. So it's not a full name list, but it's more than a name bite. Does that make sense? It's like a happy middle. So check it out if you're interested. I'm just plugging all my services. Plugging them all today. Focus, Stephanie. So we came up with the fact that we have parents, but then we also have so many other people who are here for the names, who are name enthusiasts, they're name hobbyists. They are grandmothers who are done naming their babies and still love names and love talking about names. There are people who are child-free by choice who just love names as well and should be able to talk about them and have a place. There are people who are authors who write books and look for character names and inspiration for their book. There are non-binary folks who are looking for their own new name. There are just people who want to collect. There are people who want to start their own name Instagram account, okay? And my Patreon is more for that group. Does that make sense? So for my parents, I direct them to my services. For my name hobbyists, I direct them to my Patreon. Now, you're both welcome everywhere. So like if I have people who come to me for a new business name or character names for their book, for their main character, they can get a personalized name list. And parents can absolutely join. Please come to join the Patreon. That would be so much fun to join the Name Lounge. Have I announced the name yet? It's called the Name Lounge. I just picture this really pretty sound going on when I say the Name Lounge. So everyone is welcome everywhere. That is a huge component of my brand and my identity and Names with Steph in general. So you don't have to be either to be in a specific one, but it's a way for clarity for me and for you. And now my brain is so much clearer. I completely understand where everything is going, where my business needs to go, because I took this course with Hannah, because I chose to start a Patreon and revamp it. I feel so confident that now I have a way to really organize my audience, my community, the Names with Steph community, the beautiful, lovely, open, and welcoming community that I have, into two different lanes. We have parents and we have hobbyists. We have name enthusiasts and we have expectant to be parents and others. But for the most part, that is the two lanes. And I am thrilled with this. Now, one of the biggest things that Hannah had me do was switch from 3 tiers to 1 tier. And at first I was a little bit hesitant to do that, but the way it makes it so clear and easy and simple, and one of the biggest issues for parents and people trying to pick a name is indecision. I don't want to add to that. I want to make things easy. So I was like, wait, this is so easy. If you have 1 tier, it's yes or no. It's not yes and, but which one should I choose? It's just yes or no. So the entire Patreon is called the Name Lounge. It's $6 a month. And the benefits are very different than what I originally had. So it's not the lists. You can still purchase some of my lists, but those are going to be, you get a discount, you get 20% off. But the main perk is you get to know me more. I think one of the main perks is I'm sharing voice notes. I've already done 2 for the first week, but like at least once a week, voice notes on sharing names from my DMs, sharing names of kids I meet out in the wild. Obviously no identifying information, but just names I hear on the playground or at the doctor's office, right? I am going to have my hubby sit down in a few weeks with me, and we're both going to pronounce names because he's really camera shy, and the voice note works perfectly for us. I find it so relaxing on a Sunday night. I don't have to feel like I have to be all made up like I usually do in front of the camera. That's just my choice. I love to wear makeup. But at the end of a week on a Sunday night, I'm just like, I just want to chat with you guys. And it's just free flowing. It's a stream of consciousness, and there's no editing. It's just me. And if I flub up a word, it's there. And I'm really excited about those. I find them so fun and a really good way to get like behind the scenes, because I can talk about my day and talk about names at the same time. And it's called the Name Pod, and I'm kind of obsessed with that. I'm very excited about it. And I hope that if you're watching this video that you might enjoy those voice notes as well. The other main perk I think you're gonna love is the monthly name challenges. So that is where I propose a dilemma or a name challenge to my entire community, and you write a list in the comments. But take some time. You don't have to respond right away. So like, don't think you have to be like, oh, panic, I pick ideas. I want you guys to take time and to really think about the names you're gonna suggest for this brief, and then write your list in the comments. I will put them on one of my pretty Canva images with my branding, and I will add your name, so at whatever your Instagram handle, and I'll share them in my stories. If you're interested in something like that, it helps get practice for curating. It's really good for new namers or people wanting to start name Instagram accounts, and people who just love making lists, and you would have a place to make the list, share it, and then give feedback on other people's lists, and then Steph will share it on her stories. That's me, I'm Steph. So those are the two main perks, 20% off in the shop. Plus there's all the behind the scenes random things you'll be the first ones to know about when I start my third book. The first people that knew about my branding were my Patreon members, my paid members. And also there is a free component. So I have about 200 free members, which is amazing. Some of them I would love to see in the paid membership, but some people are just there to vote in the weekly polls. So the weekly polls are open to everyone. You just have to have a Patreon account and sign up. You can vote in the list of themes that I share for the week, and these vary so much. Sometimes it's about sib sets. Sometimes it's, dark and moody, or do you want to see nature names? I don't know. It's a myriad of things. It's whatever I feel compelled that I want to make that week, but I'm not sure exactly which avenue I want to go down. I ask you guys, what first letter are you looking for? Do you want K, L, or P? Something like that. And so people get to vote. That is open to everyone. That is on the free tier. And maybe some more behind the scenes content will be shared on the free tier, but I really want to keep it to be a special exclusive spot where you get to know Steph more at the paid membership. And I'm just really excited moving forward. I have not officially done my hard launch, but it is open, it is available. And actually maybe by the time this goes out, I will have hard launched. Regardless, you should just check it out. You should just go click on it. You should check it out right now. And if I need to entice you guys just a little bit, I will, because there is a discount code for people who see this video. I will put it in the comments. It will be yours to use to get 50% off the first month. So you can see all the voice notes and the name challenge and all the stuff that I have up currently for $3 for the first month, if you so choose. So give it a try. You can always cancel, but join. It's gonna be fun. I'm just so grateful for everything that I have learned along this way. I find this to be a really fun challenge. I love that I was able to grow my free membership to 200 people and have 19 community members, and to make money off of the Patreon platform. I think it's a really great way. I feel supported as an artist. It makes me feel like a real creative, even though I already know I've been a real creative. I do love the concept of helping and supporting your favorite creators. I have pledged to many a Patreon in the past. One of my favorites was the birth hour. When I was pregnant with my third, I loved listening to birth stories and joined her Patreon. I do think it's a beautiful way to support someone that you think is doing good in the world, someone that you admire, someone that you want to just help out and help their business, but you don't necessarily need to get a name order. Or maybe it's like a studio person who creates stickers and notebooks, and you're like, I don't really want to purchase any of that, but I want to support your business and your beautiful art that you create, so I'm going to join your Patreon. Whatever the case may be, I think it's a beautiful thing. I am truly grateful for literally every time I get an email that says you have a new Patreon member. I'm like, it literally makes my day. I jump around so excited, and yeah, I don't know. I just want to do a big thank you to Hannah Witten, because her course and like her guidance have really been beneficial for me. I'm so grateful to have worked with such a smart and interesting and creative YouTuber and entrepreneur like herself. And so I'm really grateful for that. And I don't know, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. I feel like I didn't talk enough about my tips for Patreon, but I wanted this to be about my experience. So if you have more questions, let me know. I just hope that this video reaches those people who are like, should I start a Patreon? Yes, you should, if you are in it for the long haul. If you can see the future, if you can see how far you want to take it, and you want to continue to build your creative business, Patreon is a fantastic tool, but it is not a way to just be like, okay, quick, let me make some money. It's a support beam. It like helps support your business. So yes, it's important to do if you know that you want to give it enough time to grow and you want to commit to it, then absolutely start a Patreon, especially if you have those perks that you want to share with people. Like some people, they love to mail out stickers and you know, cutesy merch stuff. I don't have merch to mail out, but I also don't like to like mail physical products out. That's not my thing. I love the perks that I have created for my Patreon, and it's unique to my Patreon. There aren't a ton of name consultants out there on Patreon. So I'm happy to be where I am. Somebody needs to cut me off because I can ramble forever. Okay, Stephanie, get it together. Say goodbye. Thanks for being here. Happy naming.